All right, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Monday, May 21st, City of Monona Finance and Personnel Committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Kitzler.
Here.
Alder Wood.
Here.
Mayor O'Connor.
Here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the May 7th meeting?
So moved. Second.
Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. There are no appearances. There is no unfinished business. Under new business, item 6A, consideration of resolution 18-5-2265, approval of participation in a Wisconsin Bureau of Transportation Safety Grant titled 2018 Speed Task Force Grant. So, Lieutenant Weigel, would you like to?
We have a motion, Mayor?
Is there a motion?
Second.
Would you like to explain what the grant is about?
All right. This is the 2018 Speed Task Force Grant. It'll be a grant done in each individual agency's jurisdiction on the same date. And that's why it's a task force, but it will be just Monona officers working in Monona. It's $5,000 for overtime wages. And there's the standard grant 25% soft match, which would come from on-duty traffic activities, as well as mileage, fuel, and fringe benefits. Grant would run from June 1st through August 31st if it's approved.
Alder Kitzler?
Is this a decrease from previous years, or I feel like there was one for 25,000 that was a speed task force, or am I thinking of a different?
Yeah, they've
grant?
changed from year to year.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions? Alder Wood?
Can you just remind us how it works in terms of where the enforcement happens, and will Monona officers be going to other jurisdictions to help them and vice versa?
No, that was a special grant we did a few years ago.
Okay.
This will just be Monona officers in Monona. It'll be 9 4-hour blocks of enforcement each
Okay.
month for the 3 months.
Just one, I'm sorry.
Mark, did you?
Just one quick thing on how we budget this. We do budget this, basically budget grants in the budget. So we have a public safety aid revenue that comes in, and then if you look at the police budget, there is a overtime for grants. So we do budget for it.
So we have money available
So there's
to.
no budget amendment for that purposes.
Okay.
Because we account for it.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item, the financial report. Item 6B. Ms. Mark, did you have anything to?
Sure. I can kind of go over this quick. My numbers, I don't have what you guys have in your packet, so I just have a hard copy. So there's a page number at the very bottom, starting with the general fund. There's like page 1, so I'm just kind of reference those pages. So page 1, just want to get into some things. This year, we are going to have, just started off, the general fund is still, looks like it's going to be ahead this year, one, because of the permits and some other reason I'll talk about here in a couple of seconds. Nothing's really jumping out. There's things that are, I guess, jumping out for expenses would be the building maintenance issues. We do have some building maintenance issues. There's going to be a couple other things I'll note, but all in all, we should be ahead this year with that. So page 1 for the general fund, I put in license and permits. We're already at or past our budget for building permits. 67% of our licenses and permits for the year. Because of a riverfront, that is part of it. It's only one portion of the permits. We haven't seen any of we haven't got a bill yet from our inspections people.
I just got it today. It was almost $8,000, and we got $40,000 in revenue
Sure.
for the month of April.
So, yeah, so I'll kind of look at that and see where we're at with, especially when we start looking at riverfront, so to see, we'll track that throughout the year. Fines and forfeitures, court permits underneath that, court penalties and costs. That's only through January through March. I just got the April one today. We are, we'll probably be over by the end of the year if it keeps on the pace that we're at right now. The second page, just kind of hitting on the interest and dividends. I guess we budgeted low. We're at $88,000 out of a $95,000 budget, so we will be over on that for interest and income. Sales and city permits or city property. We've had a bunch of sales this year. We actually had a lot in January. February. So there's a lot of sales of vehicles, getting rid of those, and that's just adding up there. That number will probably stay right on there. We're not going to add much more to that number, so that's not going to affect it. The rents and leases, it looks like it says 17%. It's on target based because we have a couple of the cell towers, they pay one time a year. So they'll pay here, I think they pay in June, I think actually one paid in May. So they will, that number will catch up. It just looks like it's behind just because of that reason. So as far as expenses, well, if you want to go to page 8, it's for the fire department. Building and maintenance is they already budgeted $500, and this is a very unusual year, but we're at $5,600. Unplanned restaurant showers repairs that were really needed. There's a lot of leak. I think it ended up being a leak there, so they had to tear a lot of stuff apart and fix that. Number 2, fire paid on premise. This year we're actually doubled where we were at this point last year. So we will probably be over at the end of the year in this budget line item.
And we had deliberately cut that back last year,
Yeah,
before
'cause
this
last
year, right?
It was, you
Yeah.
know, like I said, it's doubled from the same period last year. So
Well, that's good.
it is being used.
Yeah.
Probably will probably be over budget in that.
I had a question while you're on that page,
Sure.
Mark, about the shower
Yep.
work. Was it something that broke, or what happened?
I believe there was a leak that went through the floor, so they had to remove a piece of the floor, and
Yeah.
then it ended up, they had to take out the tile and repair the floor, and, you know, then you're taking out the sink, and it just didn't make sense to retrofit it with the old sink, you know,
Right.
it wasn't ADA compliant, so it turned out to be more of a project than originally, just a small repair, so it turned out to be quite a big project, actually.
It sounds similar to what happened at the community center.
Yeah.
A smaller scale.
Yeah.
Community center, but yeah.
Okay.
Again, if you have any other questions, I'm kind of hitting different things that I see. A lot of like library funds kind of on target. Cable, I don't have it on page. Again, I don't have a page number, I guess. Of cable, right now there's 0 for franchise fees, but I just recently received in May, April and May's franchise, or first quarter's franchise fees. We are going to be a little lagging behind. Charter has fallen behind, and so has AT&T. So this will be a number we'll be watching throughout the year. So the Community Rec Fund, this is one where we'll start hitting here in May and June and July are the big months. Right now, it's really hard to get a guess what's going on there. I mean, predict what's kind of going on. So we'll be looking at this kind of May. We'll start getting the people paying in advance. We'll have a good idea where we're going to be. And when you go to the expenses on page 2 of the community center expenses, we have this buildings maintenance repair. Again, we budgeted $5,000 and we had basically at $5,000 already. Again, this is not the restroom that issue. This is more of an HVAC issue we had. So we had some major $5,000 basically of work of the HVAC issues down there.
Is that the HVAC that we're not replacing or didn't replace?
We are not replacing that right now.
Okay.
All in all, so far we are on target on everything. So we should in the end, be, above budget, but we'll be tracking here next couple months and get a better idea where we're at. I did add some support stuff at the very end just for your own purposes. I just showed where the last couple words, maybe they're not numbered. Kind of the last pages or two, I put it in there. The water revenues for residential, public fire, to kind of see where that's at for commercial and private fire. And also put in a sewer in there where the revenues are, so you can see kind of the trends. We're seeing that. And I also included in here the MG&E bills for the city hall, the library, public works garage, and the all those. And just because I just wanted to show you where they're at and with the solar panels on there, where they're at, and just kind of get an idea how that's tracking right now with that. Just some additional support. And another thing I ended at the very end, I added because it is kind of doing with the financials, I added the ridership report for the bus services, and we are up in that. For the express, down on the lift, but the express is on pace to set the all-time high again for 2018. Okay.
Yeah, I find all that information really useful. I assume now that you have it set up, maybe it wouldn't be that big of a task to
No, I
add it
have all
every
these,
quarter.
even more spreadsheets, so I can add different ones here.
Keep it updated.
Yeah.
That'd be great, yeah.
Okay, any questions?
I just had a
Doug?
general comment occurred to me on some of those, the big maintenance projects, whether we could have anticipated those or done some not preventive maintenance, but planned on replacing stuff that's, beyond its useful life. I don't know anything about the particulars of these two. It's just
Right.
seemed to, when maybe we're about through replacing all the bathrooms at this point, but
Yeah.
And I think the HVAC is probably one of those things we need to really take a look at when we do the go out for contracts. Go out for bid for the service contracts. We've been having a lot of higher cost. Is an issue.
yeah. I'm just saying maybe plan to replace things rather than
Right.
Wait till they,
wait till they
Yeah.
break.
That's why we pushed for the library replacement last year too,
Yeah.
along that line, because they were just dumping so much money into repairs. It was just getting
Right.
ridiculous.
yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, let's go on to the bills.
All right. So the bills, I'm just going to start. I got page 1 for my bills. Just going to hit just some things here. Accurate appraisal, as you know, board review is coming up here. What is it?
30th.
The 30th. So this is a second to last invoice we'll get from Accurate Appraisal. Page 2, CDW Government, the pull card printer. So basically, that's our machine that they use into prints off like the pool, the yearly passes and things like that. So it's an upgrade from where they were before. I know that was an issue. Page 3, here's this Ford Electric. So the community center restroom, a lot of that's from the issues that happened down there. So they're replacing a lot of that work down there. And then the after-school part of the capital project was getting that space ready for that program. So there's some electric work being happening there. Page 5, Madison Met Sewage District, the first quarter service. Basically about 190,000 or almost 190,000 for the first quarter, paying Madison Metro for our sewage district, and that's roughly on target where we're at. It's probably a little bit high, but it's pretty close to if it stays consistent. It's kind of funny. I'll put a spreadsheet next time on that because I track all this stuff, and you can see the jumps. It's just massively jumping our sewer charges over the last 5 or 6 years. We get a charge every year of an increase passed on to us, and some other issues, with the water infiltration there. So this number is, I'll show you. I remember one time it was on 140, so we're up to 100. So it's an issue. Page 6, Openwood Studios. We had money that was in the dog park for this park signage. For the dog park signage, underneath that is the pool of furniture, which is in the capital budget. Page 7.
On that Openwood Studio, those are the really nice signs that we have, and those last probably at least 20 years, if not longer.
Oh, yeah.
We send that bill to Ireland then? So-
Yeah.
Page 7, Strand, just showing what they're our main engineer. This is a lot of the projects they're working on for us. Vanderwall at the very bottom, page 7. Again, a couple things they're working on for us too. Page 10, Alliance Appraisal Group. This is, there's a lawsuit with Walmart. This is one of our appraisers. They're working for us. Page 11 is the purchases of the 2 Explorers, part of the capital. Other than that, page 15, more for, I guess, for Andrews. 1415 is Monona Bank. This is our credit cards. Most of the departments have a credit card, and these are the monthly charges that we use for the credit cards. And that's all I have. Any guys questions?
Okay, any questions?
Just a comment that we won't be seeing any more bills from Ace Hardware on
Yeah,
Cottage Grove Road either,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
or Ben Franklin.
Yeah, Ben
Also,
Franklin too.
Alder-
Move acceptance of the bills, or the
Second?
accounts, checks, accounts payable.
Any further questions or comments? Okay. All in favor of accepting the bills, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Bills are accepted. Is there a motion to adjourn?
To adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.